In the tapestry of life, where every thread holds a story, America in Black and White emerges as a haven for the voices echoing through the heart of our communities. In this podcast, we wade through the rivers of our collective experiences, celebrating the vibrant hues of change brought forth by the whispers of hope and the roars of action. It's more than just a conversation. It's a journey into the heart of our society, illuminated by the light of those daring to dream and do. Join us, and let your voice be the melody that guides us toward a dawn where every color finds its place in the masterpiece of our shared destiny. Together, let's paint a future brimming with the positives that dwell in our minds and the actions that shape our world.
Good evening, family, and welcome to another powerful episode of America in Black and White. I'm your host, Charles King, and tonight we're diving into a story that embodies resilience, vision, and the power of transformation. Our guest, Julbert Abraham, came to the United States from Haiti 25 years ago with no network, no friends, and unable to speak English. Yet, through determination and an unshakable belief in possibility, he built a life and a legacy that continues to inspire. From launching his first business at just 18 while in college, to building a global digital marketing agency serving over 700 clients, Joelbert has proven that challenges can be stepping stones to success. Today, as the founder of Task Maven Services, he leads a team of over 200 professionals across Asia, Africa, the Caribbean, and Latin America, helping businesses streamline operations, reduce costs, and scale with confidence. His journey is not just about entrepreneurship, it's about perseverance, empowerment, and creating opportunities for others. Tonight, we'll explore his story, his lessons, and his vision for the future. This is one you don't want to miss. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joelbert Abraham.
Hey, what's going on, Charles?
Hello, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, my friend.
Yes, sir. So, how's everything going? How's the holidays? And what are some of the things you'd like for our audience to know before we get into the show?
I appreciate that. Holiday been great, a blessing, spending time here with families and my newborn nephew. This was his first holiday, so shout out to Noah. So I'm excited for him.
Okay.
um, and what I love the people to know about me is I love to interact. I love to learn. I'm always curious, and I'm excited to be here.
Yes, sir. So what I want to do first is I want to start with your early life and journey because I think that is the most intriguing part of what I've learned about you and just getting the opportunity to speak with you that I think really gets this show not just started, but for people to understand your journey.
Appreciate that.
Um, what was life like growing up in Haiti before coming to the U.S.?
I guess the best way to put it, it was a roller coaster. Because I grew up where my dad's an entrepreneur, my mom's an entrepreneur. I didn't know what a 9 to 5 was until I came to the States. So, to me, is everybody you gotta kill what you eat, or you gotta eat what you kill, and sometime it was fantastic, right? I get to hang out with my family, spend a lot of time with them. We had cousins over the house all the time. But then, there's the instability that happens in the country. I remember during the coup d'etat era where, we had to hide under the bed because there were shooting, killing, and burning people. Literally in our neighborhood. So it was super scary time. As a kid, that can be traumatizing.
Mm.
But at the same time, we're blessed. We're grateful that God protected us, protect our family, and we were okay, and had a chance to have amazing parents who was there for us, who put they're all in us to help us, be the best that we can be.
Mm. Well, so can you describe the emotions of arriving in America with no network and no English?
So, it's great question, by the way. I remember before coming to America, it was painted to us, to some of us, that you walk around and you see money on the floor. You see money on the floor, so everything is peaches, like paradise, right?
Right.
And then when you came here and you realized that, well, first you gotta learn how to speak the language, because you can't really move the way you want to move if you don't speak the language. And that's what's hindered a lot of people in the beginning is, okay, how fast can I learn this? And a lot of people, what hold a lot of people back is they'll hang out with the people they're used to hang out with, so they weren't able to learn anything new. What helped me was when I first came to the States, one, I was super excited thinking I was going to find money everywhere. That happened. But second, it was new to me. I wanted to learn, I wanted to grow, I wanted to, America has always been painted as that place that can change your life forever. If you can achieve it here, you can achieve it anywhere, right? Like, I went, I remember we flew in from to JFK Airport, me, my mom, my sisters, my dad. None of us spoke any English, and we got lost at the airport trying to find our way. And there's one person asked us, "What are we doing here?" I'm like, "Vacation, vacation." and
Oh,
and they
wow.
understood, which is great. And then we were able to let them know where we were trying to go. They were able to guide us. They even found someone that spoke Haitian Creole to help us get to where we need to be. So overall, it was exciting experience. It was new. It was also scary because you didn't know what you don't know. So it was all bottled at once. Now you got me reflecting back around that time.
Well, but see, as you think about this, I mean, I think what's important is, you guys knew you wanted to make that move. You made the move. You got here. So when you got here, there was a few barriers. But can you tell us what was that inspiration as you guys were in the airport trying to get to that destination?
Wow. Well, to me, right, every one of us will be probably different if you ask us. But to me, just I was just looking around, how I was in awe, right? How big JFK was, and I've never gotten on an escalator before. So I
Oh,
remember
wow.
the first time I got on the escalator. We're talking like 1999, 2000.
Right.
When I just getting on the escalator, I'm like, what is that? Because you see things in movies, but when you're actually in front of it, you're like, okay, how do I do that? So we kind of stand there for a little bit.
Who
you
there?
know yeah, like, because you got the stairs moving, and I'm like, okay. And then we just I was like, okay, well, if these people are doing it, I'm gonna do it too. So just got on there.
Right.
Oh man.
Wow. So, what motivated you to start your first business at just 18 while in college?
Well, I was in college. It was my friends and I, and we went to the first SBCU, right? Chain University out of PA. And one thing that I always hear, that, hey, when you're in college, you're most likely going to be broke. You're not going to have any money. And I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be the broke kid in college. But I also, me and my friend were like, wow, there's so many beautiful girls here. How do we talk to them? And I was like, well, why don't we start a business? Let's start a photography company. We can meet girls and make money. And we all agree. We're like, yes, let's do it. And
Oh,
so
wow.
it wasn't a plan to really make money. It was more like, how do we meet the girls and make money at the same time?
Wow.
So that's how we started. But it shifted because we start realizing, oh, there's more we can do here. right? Because some of the girls we were meeting were asking to take pictures and for us to get paid, and they didn't have any money. They're college students just like us. We didn't think that far. But then we started looking at, well, maybe we can do events. So we started doing local events for the university, from, taking pictures at homecomings and parties and graduations. And that really, really kind of helped us hone on some of our skill set, building relationship, right? Building, creating deals, and it was a group of us, so we had a chance to work together, which to me was by far one of the best part of this whole experience.
Wow. So how did those early challenges shape your mindset as an entrepreneur?
Oh man, so many lessons there. One, it got me out of my shell, right? I'm always been kind of like an introvert.
Mhm.
However, just when we started that first business, it was like, okay, now we got to get customers, So it gave me an excuse to get on my shelf, because I was like, oh, I get to speak to girls and I can talk to them about my business. And so before, I was very shy to walk to anyone and talk to them. But this time, there was a shift that happened in my mind. I was like, well, if I don't talk to her, I'm not going to make any money. Plus, she won't know who we are. So, and I want to know her. So it kind of shift and push myself to take action, right? Because if you're building a business, people need to know you. If they don't know you, they can't follow you. So it got me out of my shelf, got me start having better conversation, but it also start opening door for us, because now we started building real relationship, business relationship,
Right.
not just with the students, but also with the administration, because that's how we're able to get actual business by working with them. And that helped us. And also looking at working as a team, so we learn, what were some of our strengths, right? Because one thing is, you have business owners that work together, but they're all do the same thing. Nobody knows who's each other's strength. So we realized, okay, your strength is this, your strength is that, focus on this, focus on that. And that helped us a whole lot throughout that, throughout those years. And after graduation, I worked in corporate, and that's when I really learned how to sell and customer service. So those two skill set I learned in my first corporate job, and that really helped shape me as an entrepreneur. Because working in corporate and seeing how this $9 billion plus company was operating, how they had system and processes in place, why customer service was so important, why sales was so important, how to do upsells, how to build relationship with the customer, how to get the customer to trust you quickly. So all those little subtle soft skills were built by being an entrepreneur in college to working my first corporate job, and then that shaped me to become an entrepreneur.
Mm. So with that though, because that's really interesting, because when you got that opportunity, you're actually working in this company, and you get the chance to see everything that's happening in these processes. What did you get from that that helped you to put together in place what you were going to do to scale your business? What were some of those things that you learned?
So one thing I learned is first you got to have something that people want, right? You got to have something that people want. You got to be solving some type of problem. To I'm gonna kind of go back to kind of give you the chronological aspect of the story. Is from that first corporate job, I did really well. I got promoted. I was one of the top in my region. Then I got recruited into another role. Um, Pardon me if you could hear my door in the back. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Then in addition to like learning from that part of corporate, on what kind of service people like, and getting feedback from the customers as well, on how'd you do, right? Because I work in a service-based industry in that first job, and those customer feedback was so important to help us improve in a branch. So when I started my real first business after I got my MBA and started a digital marketing agency, I was always focusing on getting my clients feedback, because every time I get the feedback from the client, it helps us improve our product that we were delivering to them. If we were to work with a client for 6 months, or and they end up leaving us, I always wanted to have a conversation to find out why. What should we have done? What we didn't do, and then how do we make it better? So I end up having what's called like an exit interview with our clients, and that helped us a whole lot. I also learned I need to be around the right people. So I got into a mentorship program with other entrepreneurs, kind of like a mastermind peer group, where I was able to see others that were doing really, really well in their business. So I was able to learn from them as well. And that helped shape me, because now I'm learning from people who has already done it, or who has gone to where I need to be. And now I'm able to kind of learn from them. So it's a lot of little learning lessons throughout that shape me, that shape what we're doing, that shape becoming a better entrepreneur. I hope that answers the question.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely. So what role did education play in your journey, especially earning your MBA from Northeastern?
Great question. So the reason I went to get my MBA is, after leaving my first corporate job, the second one I got let go on, I found myself with no job, applying for jobs every day. And that's before I started the digital marketing agency. And running out of money, getting evicted, losing my car. So all these things happening at the same time. My mom suggested that I went and get my MBA, because you're a smart kid. Why are you wasting your life? And go get a master degree, and then you can probably get better opportunities. So getting into that MBA program, I was one of the youngest in the program. It was an executive program. Um, the network was super valuable. And I also had a chance to study abroad, where I studied in China. A group of us went to Shanghai, Beijing, and Hong Kong. And we had a chance to see how large organizations work, right, in a different culture. And that was super fascinating to me, how some of these companies work, how some of these company the some of the biggest enterprise, the lessons we learned from some of the C-level executive there, what was important to them, and how that correlate with everything that made me the entrepreneur that I am today. So the MBA program, to me, that was by far the most valuable part, is the network and the exposure to those different enterprise realm from different part of the world.
Well, so then that's a lead in for my next question, because what I was gonna what I want to know if you could tell us is, from that international perspective, what was the correlation that you were able to not just learn from, but how you gathered and you made this part of your own process? How did that work?
That's interesting. Sometimes I think as an entrepreneur, you kind of just do things instinctively,
Mhm.
right? It wasn't something I planned. It wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna grab this and put it this in this business. It was just, as you go through this path, you're learning. And I had the opportunity to learn so much from those bigger, better entrepreneurs. From how, like, for example, when I was in China, I went inside a mobile shop, right? They had literally about 10 to 15 people working in one little mobile shop. And it was fascinating to me at the time, because these people, they were not only, when you come in, somebody greets you, somebody's right there asking you if you need something, somebody there making a recommendation. So they're literally, like, the service level was so high. I was like, wow, you know every single step in the process, somebody was there to kind of guide you through it, and make you feel welcome, right? So that's one. And then the second, I remember, I think I was either in Beijing or Shanghai at the time, and there was this mall that I went to. Small rooms. Everyone in there had their, like, it's like a big marketplace, but everyone in there has their rooms, and they had kids that were working there, right? And with their parents, these kids were their marketing tactic was come to you, smile, grab your hand so you can go inside their shop.
Wow.
And then, so that entrepreneurial mindset and journey started at that age, and then when you get in there, the parents asking you, which one you want to buy, and do you want this watch or you want that watch? So, and then you can negotiate. The negotiation, I love that part, because overseas, right, people will give you one price and the other. It's not always a set price. So being able to negotiate for them to get the deal done, right? So that was super useful to me when I came back to the States, because sometimes to get some of the biggest clients we were able to get, we had to negotiate. So learning how to become a better negotiator was super useful.
Oh wow. So let's transition to your entrepreneurial path and tell us about the first business you launched and what was the vision behind it.
Oh man. Okay. So I don't think I ever shared this publicly. Um, while I was in my first corporate job, my best friend and I was like, you know what? You know, we we always wanted to create another stream of income for ourselves. So we said we're gonna start a cleaning business. And my vision for the cleaning business was like I wanted to be super big, to cover all of Philadelphia. I lived in Philly at the time. I'm focusing on all the commercial corporate clients. My best friend is, hey, I wanted to just create another stream of income. I'm okay with doing a couple of residential deals here and there. So first, our vision wasn't aligned, but we didn't see that because we're best friends. We're like, hey, let's just get in business together. um, so that was one red flag we should have paid attention to right away. So what we did is we started this cleaning business, and while I was working at the company, some of my customers, I will share with them, hey, I have a cleaning business. If you know anyone that ever need our services, let me know. So that's how we got our first client. Was one of my customer from my main job, which also is a no-no.
That's a big conflict.
Right. And here's where it gets even more. She had a business. So first we cleaned her office, which was great. So I'm like, okay, we got our first commercial client. We did an awesome job with that. And then she had us clean her home. So she was one client with two streams. So, but we didn't have any process, right? We just bought we bought the all the cleaning equipment, and then we rented a car, and that was the business. We'll put everything in the car. When we got an order, we'll go and do it ourselves. So we didn't leverage and build out a team. We didn't know any of this, right? We just know we wanted to make some extra money and we're gonna grow it. We'll figure it out. So it's not afraid to take the risk, not afraid to ask, because if I never had asked my customer that, hey, do you ever need someone to clean your office or clean your home? She would never know about us, and I would never gotten that first customer. Right.
Right.
So, and then my friend, he was always ready to go with me, but it got to a point where when I got recruited for that for our other company, I moved and went to a different state. And now I'm in Jersey, he's in Philly, and we got more clients, and it's hard to handle, right? Because I'm working full time, he's working full time, and I'm driving to Philly at night to clean houses and then be back later that night so I can go to work early morning. So it didn't work anymore. However, we learned a couple things, right? Make sure that you align in your vision, make sure you have a long term vision, make sure you have processes in place, make sure you're able to leverage, which is a big one that we did. So the business, failed, but it's a lot of lessons.
So, what were the biggest lessons you learned from balancing college and entrepreneurship?
Ah, um, well, in college, I was pretty blessed where I had the grades. I even joined a fraternity. Um, and because it wasn't just me running the business, I had a team to rely on. So biggest lesson was having the right people with me, because if we didn't have a team, I don't think I would have even survived the first year. But because we had a team, it was a group of us. When one of us couldn't do something, somebody else was there to pick it up. We even had an intern.
Oh,
uh,
wow.
yeah, so we had one of our fellow classmates become an intern for us. So, so it's interesting all that thing we did. But the coursework wasn't too challenging for me because um you know I'm pretty good when it comes to studying and learning. I'm able to capture information really fast, so that wasn't an issue. But really, for the business, is the relationship building and having the right people that can help you grow it. Because one thing that we did, I remember back then, is like I was like, hey, I want to get to these parties and I don't want to pay for parties. And we figure, why don't we partner with the fraternities and give them a percentage of our sales, and we'll do photography at their parties, and which was genius, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, we figure out what we don't want, and we figure out a solution. So it's always solution minded, and that helped us get into parties for free while at the same time make money at the parties. And then we share the revenue, so we know how to create partnership where we're able to share revenue. To us, it was like we get to the parties for free. To them, it's like they make more money.
That's a win-win situation. I like that. That's a
There we
great.
go. There we go. So yeah, man, I think that's how was it. That's some of my biggest lesson is learn how to partner, learn how to collaborate, having the right people in place. That's always been a big thing.
So as we got inspiring entrepreneurs that are watching this show tonight, what are some of the things that you can tell them about your journey that would be some key elements that they should always remember and take with them as they grow and they expand business?
So there's this quote, it's in the Bible, it's walk by faith, not by sight. Um, that to me has been one of my biggest pillar. Walk by faith, not by sight, right? Because sometimes when you're in entrepreneurship, it is a risk. You're not gonna see the full road ahead, right? So you gotta trust in God or a higher power, whichever you believe, and sometimes you won't see in front of you, which could be very blurry, right? You don't know that where that next sale is gonna come from because you didn't set up system to have predictable revenue yet. You're just starting out. So taking that first step and just get started, I think is super important. And to me, getting started is not go and get an LLC and get a bank account. That's just admin. Getting started is getting a customer that's paying you. You know, that's what to me is starting a business is you need to have somebody that's willing to pay you for a problem that you're solving for them. So when you get that first customer, that's when you're in business. So I normally recommend people, before you even, like, I was talking to a gentleman this morning. He was interviewing for an opportunity we had, but his aspiration was actually to become an entrepreneur. And I'm like, well, have you got your first customer yet? No, I'm trying to get my admin documents together, get my LLC. And I'm like, nah, go get a customer first. And when you have somebody telling you yes, that they want to work with you, then you can get all these documents in less than 24 hours, right? So success loves speed in this. So you got to be fast. And just by getting that first customer, you could validate your idea.
So, how did you transition from small ventures to building a global digital marketing agency?
Um, well, time, patience, a lot of family, uh, networking. So also it comes down to a vision, right? So it's what's your vision, right? When we first started that digital marketing agency, all of our customers was in New Jersey,
Mhm.
right? Because that's where I live, North Jersey. And then we slowly started to pick up steam where we got a customer in New York, then we got a customer in LA, then we got our first customer in Canada, and then all of a sudden we had a customer in Australia. And I was like, holy crap, we got a customer in Australia. And then we got another one in Germany, then we got another one. So it happens, it's a compounding effect, right? It didn't happen where I'm like, this is, I'm gonna have customers everywhere. I didn't think like that. It was more like, how do we help the people we have here? And then that kind of started to grow over time by doing good work, helping your customers get the right results for what you deliver to them, and getting feedback from your customers, learning from them, and solving problems, bigger problems, right? So once we start solving bigger problems, then we had, clients in Australia, Belgium, UK. We had a big manufacturing clients in Brazil that was looking to penetrate the US market. So it started to grow. And then the next step is, okay, building the right team to support that customer base. Yes, we had a team in the US. I had my office in North Jersey, right outside Jersey City. Team members would come to work there. But I also had a virtual team, right? So I know how to leverage technology and start finding the right talent overseas to keep my operating costs low and still be able to run properly. So having the team in the US and the team overseas helped me balance some of my payroll, because as you grow the business, payroll become a big challenge because you're like, it just keep getting bigger and bigger. And you're like, what's going on? So having that team overseas where we had talented people from like video editors to copywriters and so forth, before AI, guys, before AI took over, that helps with some of our operating costs, because now instead of paying someone a salary of 60,000, 70,000 here, you can have the same person due to currency differences with similar skill set for half of that, and sometimes even three-quarter less than that, but that is still an amazing salary for their country. I
Exactly.
remember one of my team members in the Philippines, he was able to not only buy a condo, buy was it like a convertible Mercedes Benz, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know I was paying you that well. And he sent me a video saying, thank you. This is all because I had a chance to work with you. But he did so much for us. So I was excited to see how he was able to shift and change his life.
Wow. What was the most rewarding part of serving over 700 clients worldwide?
Um, so I have this one client that started with us when it was just her. Um, and she was super skeptical at the time. She met me at an event where I spoke, and she like, wow, I need your help. We met, and she just started her business, and we were able to help her grow that company, where in about, I think, 2 to 3 years, she went from being a solopreneur to having a team of 10. And when I had a catch up call with her, and she was sharing with me, she was like, you were one of the people that helped me do this. To me, that was super rewarding, because not only she was able to grow her business, grow her revenue, but she was able to provide opportunity to others, because of the work that we did with her. Right. So that to me was super exciting, because it shows that, you know, uh, that we're not just impacting the actual client, but we're impacting several different families around the world. And it's still like this till this day, because I'm looking at some of our team members that are overseas, right? They're not just taking care of themselves, they're taking care of their families and their extended families, all from working with us. So that is super rewarding to me, because we're not only providing jobs, but we're supporting families, and those families, they're going to be impacted for the future. So that is super rewarding for me.
Mm. What challenges did you face scaling a company to that level of success?
A lot. From legal challenges to a lot of stuff that you don't know. You
Mhm.
don't know what you don't know. Let's say that's probably the best way to put it. So it's a lot of stuff that you got to learn on the fly, right? Like, you know, Didn't even know I needed to get business insurance at a time. Because nobody told me, or like, how are you supposed to know? I didn't even know what business insurance was. I'm like, I have insurance, like, and then you find out there's like liability, general liability. There's,
So
professional insurance, so cyber insurance. I didn't know.
yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. So um, that was an interesting challenge. Um, when the team started growing, but you had revenue challenges, being able to let people go, right? That was one of my biggest challenge, because I always wanted to help everybody. So because I always wanted to help everybody, sometimes the person that's not performing, that I should have cut a long time ago, I didn't. I hold them on for a few more months, expecting things to turn around after several conversations, and it didn't. So now I'm suffering because you're not performing, client is leaving, but I'm
Right.
still paying you,
Right.
right? So that's like the realness in entrepreneurship nobody really talks about. It's being able to you know take on that challenge. What they say, hire slow, fire fast, right? So being able to fire fast enough, thinking that I got to keep that person because that's how they're able to feed their family. Now realizing that maybe this is not the right fit for that person, by letting them go, the faster you let them go, the better they'll find something that's the right fit for them,
Mhm.
and then they can thrive there, right? So managing people, because different people have different challenges, different personalities, different goals in life, right? So knowing that, figuring out who to trust and who not to trust. So it's a lot of challenges and lessons in that journey.
Wow. And so can you tell us this? I mean, because I know that firing someone is definitely got to be one of the hardest thing that anybody or any business would do, and I know that that takes some real serious getting to that point.
Oh yeah,
So,
oh
when you
man.
had to do that, like what was that like for you personally, and how did you feel doing that?
It's crazy. I don't think I ever mentioned this to anyone. I actually cried the first time I fired someone, uh,
Mhm.
because and here's why, right? I remember when I got let go in my role, and now I'm on that other side and doing it to someone else. So that's like, wow, and it's something where when you're like, I remember when I got let go, and I was like, I will never work for anybody ever again. I'm gonna build my own thing. And while you're building your own thing, and then now you realize that you became the you became the machine that you said you would not be.
Now you have to do it.
Yeah, but you have to,
Yeah.
right? Because it's impacting not just you, it's impacting the business, it's impacting all the other people that's there, it's
Mhm.
impacting that person that you're letting go. They may not see it, right? So that first time I fired someone, I was I was like, I didn't want to fire her. I dragged it on for about 6 months. And then in my peer group, my mentorship mastermind group that I was in, was like, you need to let this woman go. You need to let her go. You need to let her go. I'm like, no, but she says she has a kid. She has a family. She's taking care. I can't do that to her. And well, your business is going to die. So there was one last thing that happened. I'm like, okay, that's it. I've done the letters. I've done the warnings. I have to do this. So when she came in about 45 minutes late. I'm like,
Oh
listen, oh yeah, yeah.
no.
She was. I was like, let's go to this side. I'm like, listen, I don't think this may be the right place for you. I need to let you go. And she said, you're firing me. I'm like, yes. Now, and I need you to take all your stuff. I already cut all the tech and all that stuff off. And then she left crying. And then I turned around, went to the other room, and I had tears coming down my eyes. I'm like, damn, now I'm the machine that I vow not to be.
You know something. The thing is that what you're displaying and what you're talking about now is it lets people know that there are some business owners that do have a moral compass.
Thank you.
Because I can honestly tell you, I know that that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's like you can get up to that point and it gets so close and it's like, I gotta let you go. But you just
Yeah.
but you just try to you wanna you hope you're
Yeah,
hoping.
you hope things will change, right? It's like, it just you just keep hoping, and you keep having those conversations over and over and over again. But then it's also start impacting the whole team, because they're like, well, if she can do that, I guess I can do whatever I want. And,
Exactly.
and that's not the environment you want to create, because now you create a culture of people do whatever they want, nothing gets done, clients are not happy, your business die.
Yes. So let's transition over to your leadership and vision. Can you tell us how do you define leadership in the context of entrepreneurship?
Leadership to me is really, you got to be the example.
Hmm.
Like, I can't expect somebody to do something that I'm not going to do myself.
That
um yeah, like if I'm telling you I need you to make 100 phone calls to get this deal closed, I got to be willing to make 100 phone calls as well. And I got to be able to pick up the phone and make the calls, and have those conversations, because you know at the end of the day, leadership to me, it's not what you say, it's what you do, right? So it's really, people are going to look at you based on your examples. So if you're leading a team or an organization, it's really about showing people what you're doing by actually doing it.
So what values guided you as you built your agency and later Task Maven?
Say that again. You said what value?
What values guided you as you built
Uh,
your agency and later Task Maven?
transparency, transparency, and open door policy. So from that last business to this one, it's that's one of the biggest thing that we're proud of, is we're transparent when we talk to clients. They know exactly what's happening, why this is happening, and then having that open door policy where we have kind of like our business manager that kind of run everything, everything go through her. However, if any of our team members want to talk to me, they can just DM me. you know it's like, hey, can we talk? I make it simple that they can reach out. Not saying that everybody's going to reach out, but make it simple where I'm accessible if needed, and that helps a whole lot.
Well, see, it sounds like you are a guy that likes to communicate. So, how big is communication with you and your organization?
Oh, that's huge. Because it's not just you know saying the thing one time, but it's saying it where people understand. And also, one thing that is super important for us is we want people that are reliable, right? So let's say, for example, I'll give you a super simple example. A few weeks ago, there was a typhoon in the Philippines, and some of our team members got hit really bad, right? Where they ran out of power and they couldn't perform the way they should. So, them communicating to me and letting me know what's going on, and really sharing what's going on with me, help us communicate that to our clients, so they know this is what's happening, this is where we are, this is why you're not able to reach them. So that's everything. because it helps create the trust. It helps staying transparent. Communication to me is that's what keep the business flowing. Because if I don't know what's going on and you're not sharing, then the client don't know. The client don't know. The client's not happy because the work is not being done. You know.
How do you balance vision with execution in business?
So I'm a big vision type of guy, right? I think big. Everything I look at, I can see like 10, 20, 30 steps ahead. So what I try to do, I don't do it 100% well because it's still a learning process for me, is when it comes to execution, I always do a pilot program to get things going. So for example, one of our initiative is we do dinners for entrepreneurs here in Atlanta. And I started that initiative by just having a massive vision on where I can take it. And then I said, I went to a goal setting workshop that one of my clients had. And within 10 days, I put the first pilot dinner together. That went well. We created processes around it. We're doing it again in 10 days. And then we're going to duplicate that over and over again while we increasing what we're doing. So I normally start with that small step. Once I have the big vision, I start with the small step, which is a pilot program to test it out, get feedback, see what I can improve, create a process around it, and then duplicate and grow. Right. So that's the steps for me.
Oh wow. So what role does resilience play in leadership?
When it comes to entrepreneurship, you gotta be resilient. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. Let's put it that way. You're gonna have all type of different challenges and obstacles on your way, and it could be business, it could be family, it could be um, things that you didn't expect. And you just gotta have that mindset to keep going, right? You just gotta how do I put it? It's kind of like I'm trying to see what's the best analogy for this. It's kind of like you're being molded into a diamond, and now you're a carbon that got to get cracked open. So if you're not resilient enough, you're not gonna you're not gonna last while you're being pounded on consistently with different things coming out of nowhere.
Right.
So yeah, it plays a major role. And I think sometimes we would say, are you born an entrepreneur, or is it, does it grow in you? To me, I think it's both. Because, you could be born an entrepreneur, but if you don't have that resilience, you're not going to last as an entrepreneur.
Now, from a philosophical perspective, I mean, I more than get that point that you're making. But I want to take this a little bit further because in just not just learning about you from us chatting and we're doing the show here, but I gotta say that you are the example of resilience.
Oh, thank you.
And so when I just think about you and resilience and thinking about your journey, when you first got here to the US to where you are right now, I mean, clearly, when you say resilience, we see Julbert. So
Thank you.
as, as we see that, tell us, what is your why?
Man. One is my family, right? Because my dad, he recently passed, and one of the biggest thing he did for all of us, all my siblings, is get us here in the state.
Mhm.
And he wanted a better life for us than we had in Haiti. Not saying Haiti is bad. Yeah, Haiti has challenges, but it's a beautiful country. However, to him, getting in the States create a better future for us.
Mhm.
So my biggest why is being able to take my family further than my dad took us. And the best way to do that is by leading by example. building the business, showing them things that bringing that exposure, because once you've been exposed to it, you can never go back. um, Building something that's lasting, that can last generations, and while also impacting hundreds and thousands of families around the world.
So, how do you inspire your team to stay motivated and aligned with your mission?
Well, a couple things. One, I have great leadership in place. Uh, so having great leaders within your organization is super valuable. Second, one thing that we do every week, we have what's called our team meeting, our Monday huddles, and our business manager lead that team meeting. We had one. Was it today's Monday? We had one this morning. Um, so that's that's one way that we communicate with people, because everybody attend that meeting, everybody get a chance to know what's going on in the organization, everybody see what's the overall vision is. And then what we like to do is promote within, and showing some of the key people that we see making strive in the organization, where that there can go, right? Because when I started the business, it was just me, and then I had one team member, and then a second one, and showing the people that we're bringing on board where these people started and where they are now, so people see that there is growth within the organization, right? So the person that's now running, our business manager, she didn't start there. She started just being working with our first customer. Right? So seeing how she now running the show and making sure all of our team members are taken care, making sure our clients are happy, and helping us run this operation. It took time, but it also showed the others that, okay, if she can go from where she was to where she is now, there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of us. And when we, like, for example, last week, I had a final interview with a new team member that's starting next week, is painting that vision to him, right? When you paint the vision of growth and where we're going to the organization, that motivate people to take on that journey with you.
Now, let's talk about Task Maven services.
Sure.
Can you tell us what inspired you to create Task Maven after exiting your agency?
Well, a few different things happen. Some good, some bad. One is getting capital in the door, and you're like, wow, okay, this is really life changing. And then not knowing how to properly make the right investments, and then end up losing a lot of capital, and then realize, okay, I need to there's so much more I don't know. But then a friend of mine came to me and was like, hey, I know you're trying to figure out what's going to be your next move. Here's what I need help with, and I know you had a team overseas that you were able to build, maybe you can help me. So it started with just helping a friend solve a problem. And by solving that problem, I realized that, I'm a great connector, and I can build teams anywhere. And that's how Task Maven started. So it's a lot that, changes that happen in the journey from, when you leave you sold a business, now you have money and you think you're kind of like top of the world, to realizing that, oh, there's a lot I don't know. And then, then you get humble really fast, and then you realize, okay, what do I want to do next? Let me go back to what I'm really good at, which is starting and building businesses. And and then the right opportunity came along where you're helping somebody solve a problem, and you realize, oh, okay, I can turn this into my next business.
Right.
And that's how we started. And then having the right people to guide you, because I didn't know the industry. It's a brand new industry to me in terms of running that type of business, which is a remote talent sourcing virtual assistant staffing company. Reaching out to people that has done it, and get advice from them, right? So that was super helpful to get us moving very quickly, because once I got that first customer, second customer, third customer, I'm like, okay, I need to find somebody that know what to do. I picked up the phone, called someone that I know who had a similar business, met up with her. She told me exactly how she did, what she did. I took some notes and I was ready to rock and roll.
How does Task Maven differ from traditional outsourcing models?
Great question. One is we have a lot of different specialized skill set people, right? So a lot of the model that I've seen out there is they have, they may have one group of people that just do executive admin work, which is fine. But I realized quickly that there's different tiers to this. You have the tiers where you just have people that are data entry, they don't really think for themselves. And then you have another tier, which is like the critical thinkers. And then you have a third tier, which is leadership. So in our organization is we bring all three. You can have just the data entry admin person, or you can have someone with a special skill set that maybe write business grants for you, or help you fill out your government contract paper proposals, or that helps do business development work or run paid ads. Or you might have a leader that can manage your whole team and put a whole team together for you. So that's one of the things that differentiate us. And the second is really the vision and the experience that I bring to the table, right? A lot of people, this may be their first business. For me, it's not. And being able to go through that journey, I'm able to bring additional skill set to my organization and really support the team based on all the prior experience that I built over time.
So, can you share a success story of how Task Maven transformed a client's business?
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of our, I think it was our second or third client came to us where he needed somebody to help him. He works with restaurant owners. He had a software for restaurant owners, and he wanted to get in front of more restaurants. So what we did is we placed a business development rep with him. That person's job is to find restaurant owners, reach out to restaurant owners, book meetings for him. That person was able to generate over 200 appointments. He got 40 new clients, which is multi six figures in business for him. That
Oh,
happened all within a year and a half.
mhm.
So that to me is life changing,
Oh.
because you're able to have the right team member help you grow and build.
So, what makes your team of 200 plus professionals unique?
Well, a few things, right? One, we have people from different countries, right? So we have people in the Philippines, Nigeria, South Africa, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Turkey, India. So having people across the world is great, because, like, for example, the typhoon that happened in the Philippines, not our whole team wasn't done, because we have people in other places, so business can still be run properly. And
Right.
then we have a lot of people with specialized skill sets, right? So not everybody just have one specific skills. When we look at a business, the business has different division. It could be a one person show, but they're doing marketing, sales, operation. Being able to plug in the right team members with those specific skill set to help that business is huge. And sometimes that business owner doesn't know that. And within our team, we have people that has the specific skill set. And we also specialize in different industries, from professional service to healthcare to real estate. And we have a lot of people with master degrees, bachelor degrees. So that helps a lot too.
So, how do you ensure quality and consistency across such a diverse
You
team?
you breaking up a little bit. I didn't hear that one.
How do you ensure quality and consistency across such a diverse global team?
Great question. We have a lot of systems in place. There's softwares that we use that allow us to track what's happening, track some of their activities. Everyone has to do an end of day report. We have somebody that does coaching with the team once a month, and also